the School of Ancient Wisdom for a while. So I'd request Swati to start off with the school prayer.
Sure, sir. Good evening, everyone. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom, O hidden light, shining in every creature, O hidden love, embracing all in oneness, may each who feels himself as one with thee know he is also one with every other. Thank you.
Thank you, Swati. And now may I request Deepthi to introduce our speaker for today, Yogesh Suresh ji.
Our esteemed speaker for today is Mr. Yogesh Suresh. Mr. Yogesh offers collective healing workshops across a variety of modalities such as dance, music, eye gazing, meditation, movement, touch, expressive arts, games, sharing circles, etc. He also helps people work through suppressed emotions such as guilt, shame, grief, fear, anger, etc., and is a facilitator of the dances of universal peace. Having raised VC funding at the age of 19 and worked as an entrepreneur in residence with multiple startups, a self actualization journey in the Himalayas changed his outlook towards life, post which he worked as a sustainability consultant. Yogesh is very passionate about the gift economy. All of his sessions are pay as you wish with no fixed charges. Welcome on board once again, Mr. Yogesh Suresh.
Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you. And please don't call me sir. That's all. But thank you so much.
And we're definitely looking forward to hearing what hearing you share about your wisdom, Yogesh. It's really very nice and very intriguing, actually, your introduction. So now over to you.
Yes. I'd first love to understand. So we are 3, 6, we're 9 of us, right? And is everyone participating?
Yes.
Okay, amazing. I'm so sorry that I came a couple of minutes late. We'll seek to wrap up by 7:30, right? That's the time.
Yes.
Yeah, usually I just love to directly get into a session than also talking a lot about it, because sometimes I'm a true believer in experiencing some of the things that we're talking about. So I'd love for everyone to be on mute, and so that whenever our chance comes, then we can sort of introduce. But first, we'd love to begin by mainly understanding some of you here. You can just start with a quick introduction of what is your name, and what drew you to this session, or what is your expectation from this session, or what you feel about this session, so that we also know the collective presence of the energy in the room. So anyone can go, and just feel free to unmute yourself and introduce yourself, and what is your intention for the session, or what is your expectation, and mainly why are you here? And it can be anything. It can be a very basic thing also. So yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll just start off with myself. My name is Ramesh, and I've been with this spiral of wisdom satsangs that we've had every Thursday. That started by Ma Manize, the founder of School of Ancient Wisdom. And I've been here from 2005. So I think many of us become here every Thursday to really get to know more about ourselves, our true self, and to grow personally and spiritually. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
My name is Kashmira Irani. I'm in Mumbai. And I love the Thursday session because there's always something new to learn. So my mind, my soul, my being likes to learn something. Thank you for being there.
Lovely to hear. Thank you so much.
I'm really looking forward to know what I really missed when you were in the campus.
Thank you, Swati.
My name is Deepthi, and I've been associated with the School of Ancient Wisdom for over 20 years now. And I look forward to this session, especially since you're conducting it. It's pretty rare that people do these, but do spiritual work totally free of cost, I guess. So it's great of you to do something like this, and I hope to learn from your session on sacred connections.
Thank you so much, Deepthi. Thank you.
And there is an answer in the chat box from Geeta Gopalan, and she's a part of the school, and she has absolutely no expectation. And due to the bad cough and chest congestion, so she can't unmute.
No worries at all. Welcome, Geeta. Anyone else would like to go? Any of the others? I'll wait a few more seconds. If yes.
I am Janaki Ram. Would like to know something about what happened, your experience in Himalaya.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else wants to go? If not, we can proceed. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for bringing your most honest and authentic selves. I'm a big believer in honesty, and I think the more honest we can be, the more we can really embody this energy that's being passed on to us from the divine. Just a brief introduction about me, because also one of you expressed some interest there. I think I was a very I come from a very low middle class background where my father is a factory worker, and I've grown up seeing how the economy and how he had to bring us up, and I very soon realized that money is a big part of our society. And so I was obviously working towards it. So I did engineering in MS Ramaya Institute of Technology, and I happened to just be good at my studies. I was the best outgoing student, and I had my own startup when I was 19 years old, and I raised VC funding, and we had, around, let's say we got funded by around 1 crore by one of a VC angel. So at that point of time, my idea of money broke. The fact that I could just create a product and have an idea and receive so much money means, okay, I started realizing that money is a story. And so I was asking a few questions about myself also. So I quit everything, and when I graduated at 22, I took my bike and I went to the mountains. I went to Ladakh, and there I stayed for a month in monasteries, and I did my first Vipassana meditation course. Doing that 10-day Vipassana meditation, something happened in my body. I left my body for a few seconds, and after that, life has never been the same again. That, just experiencing the divine reality and truly experiencing it, because I know we all talk about it, but I mean, out of the entire 100 hours I spent at Vipassana meditating, it was just for 4 seconds, but those felt like infinite. And when I came back, I realized that we are all one. We are all this pieces of divinity in different people, but how do we realize it? Like, it's easy to say it, no? It's very easy to say it, but we still live in a real world and we live as separate people. And so I started realizing that money was one of the biggest barriers. So yeah, I started working with HNIs and with individuals in trying to create a moneyless world. How do we create a world that is free and sharing and that's based on trust and love? So that's been a pathway. I worked as a sustainability consultant where I worked with human rights and climate action, because I was thinking that, I need to do systems at scale, understand governance and economy. But now I've realized that, at least for me, the pathway is for each one of us to truly transform ourselves. That's the only real sustainable way for a better, a simpler earth. And that's so one of the work I'm trying to do is to open up this energy moving very freely with each other. But anyway, so that's a little bit more about me. But for today's session, let us quickly start with some practice, which is why I'd love for if everyone's video was on, so that I'm also able to guide you through some of these practices. I definitely feel like maybe we can leave out the movement ones, or anything related to visual arts or touch, because all of them requires your video to be on, so that I can also self-guide you through the process. But maybe we can explore a little bit about concept of letting go. I think that's something that I feel is how we'll build connections with ourselves and through people. So I'm going to hopefully I'm just going to try sharing my screen. Yes, I can see it. I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
Okay, great. So just pull up page number 33. Yes. Okay, so I'd love for all of you to take a minute and yeah, maybe we can take a minute or so. Take your time to just read what's on this page, and to read it slowly and mindfully. And if any of you are done, you can just put your hand up or you can unmute and say that you're done. Yeah, maybe we can read till here, till the bottommost. Yeah, let me know when each one of you are done. You can just put up your hand or unmute yourself. Feel free to take your time. Okay. I'm going to assume that some of you are done. So it's just, I think personally, this is one of the first spiritual books I ever read, Letting Go, by a person called David Hawkins. And I've read at least around 150 books since then on all various authors. And somehow the essence of everything is the same. The essence of all methods, all techniques, all ideas of meditation is to somehow let go of fear in a very simple manner. That we are worried about something. There's something that we're worried about, and we were to stop worrying about it and to let the heaviness of an emotion go. Then we can slowly maybe rise up to higher states of being, higher planes of existence, and I think that's about it. So maybe we can all try it, as simple as that. So what we're going to try to do now is, with our eyes open, I want all of us to put our hands in the front of us and maybe try to move our fingers. Just move your fingers and feel the energy in your fingers. As you're moving it, feel the energy, feel whatever you're feeling, but you're feeling something, right? In your hands, feel it in your hands. And now you can close your eyes and stop moving your fingers and just try to focus on the energy in your hands. And now we're going to move to our feet. Move from your hands now. Forget your hands. Put your hands down. Let's go to our feet. And let's move our toes and feel the feet. Whatever feeling it is, just feel it, but become aware of your feet. And now we're going to come back to our tongue. Feel your tongue and feel the saliva around your tongue. Just feel the moistness inside your mouth. And now take a deep breath in and feel the air go inside. Move away from the tongue and come to your breathing and take a deep breath in, then deep exhale out, feeling the breath. And now whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. And so as your eyes are open, very basic understanding of what awareness is, right? Awareness is that part inside our body that's moving to different parts. Just, I mean, I hope I'm sure majority of you already know it and you also practice it, but just for us to be aware that if this is awareness, this would be moving through different parts of our body, and it's as simple as that. Go is we're going to keep our awareness just in a very deep part of us that's going to observe our body. So now, instead of like when I ask you to close your eyes and we'll do a meditation for around 5 to 7 minutes, wherever if your awareness is going to different parts of your body or different parts of your mind, keep bringing it back to this one idea of you observing it, and your only response to whatever is happening is okay. So whatever you observe, so that imagine, for example, imagine your thoughts went to yesterday night's dinner for some reason. Okay, you're just going to observe that it went there. That's all. You're not even going to bring it back necessarily. There is no instruction from you. You're simply going to keep observing what's happening. And let's say you're like, why am I observing? But just at every time, just come back to this one person that's observing. And we're going to practice this actual mechanism of letting go. Okay, is whatever feeling there is in whichever part of the body, we're just going to let it come up and move, whatever it is, and we're going to try to observe it. And at the end of this process, after 5 minutes, maybe we can all share what did we observe, and how did I feel. And it can be anything that you've read here, but let's just stay with the feeling and of how we feel right now, and moving our awareness wherever it goes, but us to simply observe. And if there's any feeling, we're going to allow it to come up, and we're simply going to observe the feeling. Okay. If you have any questions, you can ask. If not, we can gently close our eyes. Simply observe what is happening and resist nothing. Allow things to come up onto the surface, observe them, and just watch it move out of your body and being. Gently taking a few seconds and opening your eyes whenever you're ready, taking your time. And in simple, concise words, if anyone can start, simply share what the experience felt like and what was happening.
Would anyone like to start sharing?
Yeah.
Well, my experience, since nobody else has spoken up yet, my experience of this meditation was that because I had a bit of a disturbance in my background, my son eating, but I could also observe my automatic reactions to noise and disturbance coming in as I was trying to meditate. I observed that I was resisting it, and it was not okay initially. But the moment I started observing, it didn't matter. Then gradually, I also started observing that my thoughts were coming in, and I was thinking on those thoughts. And the moment I started observing them, those thoughts would disappear. And finally, I was observing my breathing. I could also observe certain sensations in my body when thoughts came in. Certain parts of the body were a little more I was aware of it. Maybe you can call it the chakra or whatever, but I was aware of it. And as I kept observing, I just started noticing my breathing, and it kind of went quiet. That was my experience.
Thank you so much for sharing.
How about you, Deepti? Did you have any experiences?
My thoughts wandered. I guess I should have been more concentrated on this.
No, that's perfectly okay. Whatever happened. And what did you, can you share a little bit more? What were you thinking about? Where did it go? Whatever you want to share.
No, I was doing some job applications and, thinking what I should, query the prospective employer about and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where it is at. Okay. Anyone else wants to share?
How about Lalita ji or Kashmir ji?
Yeah, I just try to not show the attachment to the thought, but having a monkey mind, I kept thinking about the thought itself. It's a tough it's a tough place to be.
And can you share something about this thought if you feel comfortable? What's in
Sure. Like I'm going to have company tomorrow morning at 7:30 for breakfast, and I kept saying, no, you don't have to think about it because this is some kind of a new meditation. This is something I have to let the thought come in and go. It does not matter. But no, then, oh, did I get this? Did I get that? Should I run to the store after this? No. I concentrate on just feeling something. No. And this went on.
Thank you so much for sharing so honestly.
How about Lalita ji? Any sharing from your end? Lalita auntie? Anyone else?
Okay. If no one else wants to share, I'll share. I had a little anger coming up today with one of my fellow facilitators who's also into meditation and yoga and shamanic healing and ancestral healing. And it's so weird, no? That I know I'm going to be holding a healing session there's something, that anger that came up, and as the expression, I didn't feel right about it. And so my mind kept going back now. I'm like, should I have told what I told to him? Maybe I could have observed my emotion much better. And I'm like, no, let's come back to observing this emotion, you know. And the point of this is very simple. To observe that the thought is always in the past or the future. Come back to the thought. Any thought about this present moment that's passing by. You can take a few more seconds and gently open your eyes whenever you're ready. And yeah, you may open your eyes. And does anyone want to share now? Anything, any sharings?
Well, my experience was as I was trying to think about the present moment, I was wondering what I should think about it. It was just going quiet because the moment I started thinking about it, I felt that became the past. It was like what has just happened. Suddenly, it was like it just happened. Just not. So as I kept observing it, it was a bit of a struggle because it felt like I was looking at a reel that was constantly rotating. A film reel. You know how it is in the theaters where the reel goes past. So it was like skipping the frames, and then suddenly I just went quiet. It was nice. It just kind of went quiet. It was present. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ramesh. Thank you. Yes.
So when I was trying to focus on the very moment, I heard the voice say, "Oh, recording stopped."
Yeah.
Recording started. So,
Yeah.
oh my God, what does that mean? And then I said,
Yeah.
no, I don't have to have any attachment to that. I'm not the technician here. Let me just focus on quieting the mind down. So that's what happened. So I shifted out of that. God bless you.
Oh, so sweet. Thank you. Anything else in towards the ending, Kashmira?
Yeah, then I just shifted from there and said, there's nothing going on. Just, if you're hearing the fan, you're hearing this voice, let it go, let it be there.
Okay, great. Deepti?
Could focus a little better. Just, yeah, I could just be in the moment a little somewhat better than earlier.
Okay. Okay, great. So what do you think happened there? Does anyone, what was the, like, if I think the one thing that's common is that people could see the difference between the past moment and the future moment and this present moment, right? And you could somehow, having a thought about the now is impossible in a way. Every thought that you can have is either about this moment that has just gone by or is this just going to come by, you know? And what you realize that therefore what is in the now is the feeling, that there is no thought in the now, but there's this body, there's constantly feelings that are happening in the now. And mainly as human beings, we've accumulated these negative feelings and not felt them, and our minds now is trying to escape it. In this book they talk about how 3 or 4 different ways that we deal with feelings. We either suppress it, we express it, or we resist it. And we don't do this for positive feelings, no? For positive feelings we actually express it but also let go of it. We enjoy it, we feel it, and it just goes by, yeah, sure, yesterday I laughed and it went by. But for negative ones, we store them because we are afraid of truly feeling that, truly just feeling it out. And so one of the things that's super important for us, and I'm actually going to move to the most important part of this section, is that any meditation technique or any activity that we do spiritually would really love to focus on the feelings, because that's where the real work is, and the thoughts are just originating from these feelings. And this is a map of consciousness that I'd love for all of us to observe. And we can start from the bottom. So we start with level 20, and we're just going to look at these center 2 points. We're going to look at level, log, and emotion. So there are a bunch of different columns. We're going to look at level, log, and emotion. So we'll start from the bottom, okay? And may I request the ones who are active to maybe Ramesh can start us off. Maybe you can read, for example, the bottommost line, the level, log, and emotion. And you can maybe read 3 levels, up to 3. We can start from the bottom.
Sure. So the bottommost log 20 is shame, 20, and humiliation.
Okay. And the next one?
And above that, we have guilt, 30. Beg your pardon? Did you say
Blame.
something? Sorry, I didn't get you.
No, no,
Yogesh.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Guilt. Okay. Then the next line above that was guilt, 30, and blame. Apathy, 50, and despair.
Okay. Great. Ramesh, I think I don't know if it's my internet or yours. I'm losing you a little
That's
bit.
about it, right? I'm
Yeah.
supposed to read the bottom 3 lines. Level,
Yes.
log, and emotion.
Yes. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Sorry, you're frozen at the moment. The screen and the audio.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. I think it's just Ramesh. So, we'll just maybe Irani, maybe you can sorry, Kashmira Irani, you can help me. Shame 20, humiliation, guilt is 30, and blame, apathy is 50, and despair. Okay.
Right.
Can you show these emotions, this blame, despair, humiliation, shame? Can you show me in your body? Can you, like, how would your face or body look like? Is there a body language that comes to it?
Shame, I would try to cover my face up.
Okay.
Guilty, I would like to be a little, my shoulders would come forward.
Okay.
Apathy, I would show, I didn't care, just be lazy.
Got it. Okay. And how would you show humiliation?
I would crouch myself,
Okay. Okay. And blame?
Blame, I would be like, I would try to blame somebody.
Okay.
I would
Right.
And despair, I would be in tears and I would wring my fingers and
Right. Yeah. Okay. Ramesh, if you're back and if you can hear us, can you read the next 3? You're on mute actually. Can you read the next 3 for us?
Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes. And I think he's gone again, no? Yeah. Okay.
The next 3. Okay. The next 3 is grief, 75, regret, fear, 100, and anxiety. And above that, it's desire, 125, and craving.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
And
Loud
how
and clear.
can you associate a body language with this? How does your body feel physically when you talk about these emotions?
Well, with anxiety, there's a lot of stress. There's lack of focus. The eyes are wide, and when you have cravings, well, the Nashili Ankhe syndrome, where you are, you're really focused on something that you really want. Your senses are completely engaged. And when it comes to hate, well, that's very obvious. The face is in a very aggressive stance. The eyes are wide open. The eyebrows.
Can you show a face of hate, if I may ask you to?
The face of hate will be, yeah, something like that.
Okay. And what about anger? And how did anger look like?
Well, anger would definitely be something maybe even more, forcefully expressed on the face.
Okay.
Hate multiplied.
And what about how does your shoulders and your body with anger and pride and hate?
With anger, definitely there's a forward thrust because you're trying to transfer that or take away another's energy, and with pride, it's generally where you're standing straight with your nose in the air and you look down at others.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, Deepti, if you can read the ones above pride, starting from courage and up to the next three. Yeah. You're on mute. No worries, no worries, no worries. Huh.
Okay. Courage, neutrality, and willingness.
Right. And the emotions next to them?
Affirmation, trust, and optimism.
How does this feel, Deepti? How would you feel on your face and your body with trust, optimism, willingness, courage?
Like this.
Yeah? Okay. Okay. And how is your chest and your body and how is your spine when you're optimistic and trustful and willing?
I guess erect.
Okay. Okay. So can I ask you to think about this one thing that you're really optimistic about? If you can close your eyes and just think about what is one thing you're really optimistic about, and you are trusting the universe. You're trusting. You're like it'll happen. You know. And can you share, Deepti, maybe what is there anything that you're really optimistic and trustful about? What came up? What actually came up when you close your eyes? Was it confusion?
I was generally thinking, what is it that makes me confident or whatever.
Okay.
So
it was you have to find it, no? We have to try to find it, right? Okay, now can you close your eyes and think about something that you regret today or yesterday? Yeah, regret, or something that you're anxious about in the future or past. Anything that you're anxious or regretful about. Okay.
I used to get very anxious.
No, I don't
remember
want you to share. I don't want you to share.
Okay.
But things came up, right?
Yeah.
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 So for me, as I was even saying it, wow, I had many options to pick from anxiety and regret. Trustful, optimistic, lesser options sometimes, no? You have to actually pick. And now, can I ask Ramesh to read reason, the reason and the ones above it. Maybe two, you can read two.
So you want me to read level, log, and emotion, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So we have reason at 400. The emotion is understanding. Then we have above that, the level above that, we have love at 500. And the emotion here is reverence.
Okay. And how do you feel about this, Ramesh? What is the feeling in your body? What is the body language for this?
Okay. Now, reason and understanding gives me a lot of hope, actually, because when people understand one another, there is so much of scope for expansion, for togetherness, to doing things together, and resolving issues. And of course, when you have love and reverence, I feel like I'm beginning to float, because that's something I think is the essence behind, all of our existence and our joys. And reverence, I've always said many a time that it's an especially strong emotion that we generate in India, because we have a lot of occasions to be reverential, and sometimes even just thinking of Ishtadeva or prayer, or it could even be an event, a celebration that can where you can experience reverence, which is a shortcut to immense levels of joy and trust and faith and so on in one small packet of time.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Kashmira, can you read the level above love?
Joy, serenity,
And how does that feel in your body? Joy and serenity, how would it feel?
Oh, I love joy.
And so what's the body language for it?
The body language is there'll be a big smile, maybe a twinkle in my eye.
Okay. And your shoulders and your chest and your hands?
I'm just relaxed.
Okay.
Especially if I'm serene. Serene means my
Yeah.
mind and my body is really quiet.
Yes. And what would joy be but joy?
Joy brings a spark in my life.
Spark?
Yeah.
Okay. And how would acceptance be? Can you come to acceptance?
Yeah, acceptance is the body is just mellow.
Right? Okay, amazing.
It's letting go.
Great. So now the level above joy is peace and bliss. And after that is enlightenment. And I personally wouldn't ask any of us to try to feel that level. But one thing that I want to point out is often what we think is peace is actually acceptance. Sometimes we accept things and we think we're peaceful. But if you've noticed one thing, we've moved from guilt and shame, right? So guilt and shame, like Kashmira wanted to cover her face almost, in shame, and she was like this, shoulders like this. Then we went to grief and fear, where there was a little bit more effervescence, a little bit more bubbles. Still whatever, but it's still something's happening. And then we moved to anger, like eyes are like straight, and like Ramesh mentioned this energy, this energy is outward energy starting from anger, So anger, by the way, guys, is the best negative emotion, so to say. Under the negatives ones, it's the most strongest, because after anger comes courage. It's just with pride, like Ramesh, we're our nose is big and we're looking down, Instead of looking up, we're looking down. We think we're looking down at others, but we're just looking down, in some sense. And then we come to neutrality and acceptance, which we're straight, where we can just look straight, we're up. And with reason and reverence, there's something more, no? There's something more. Something's happening from inside now. The body is the same, but something inside. And with love, we're straight, but we're melting from inside. There's softness. And with joy, it's so amazing that now there's almost it's overflowing. Can you feel it's the highest energy of spark, like you mentioned, but also our hands go up and we are in a state of joy. I'm just going to mute this person. So now think of what peace would be. Peace is higher than joy, and that's why sometimes I say that we rarely experience peace, and that sometimes in maybe a meditation where you feel this joy, but it's not. And so peace, we think, is a very mellow thing, but it's actually not. It's, imagine a state more powerful than joy, right? um, Simple exercise for us to understand that what were all of these were energy states. We call it different things, but they're energy states. And for us to really, every time we come back to spirituality, to calibrate ourselves, we are all at different states of these levels in different parts of our lives, in different parts of the day. Some parts we are feeling guilty and shameful, some parts we have fear and anxious, there's some parts anger and pride, in some parts there's willingness and acceptance, and in some parts there are love. And the goal, I think, is very clear for us to all just move up. And often we think this moving up is a very difficult process where you have to climb a ladder, like I have to, oh my god, I have to, my family, my work, I have to, this such a big journey of spirituality towards enlightenment. But it's actually the opposite. It's climbing down. It's just getting down from a ladder and just letting go. It's like we are wearing so much of these bags filled with rocks and sand of negative memories. That's about it. Negative memories that we're wearing, that we're just afraid to let go. Just afraid of opening the bag and seeing inside and throwing out the rock. And so what I promise you is, every time you sit with a negative feeling, every time you sit with something with the intention of letting go, you're just going to rise, like as right now as we're speaking, feel something that there's a block in you, the most obvious block in your body or something, and just open your fingers like this, just allow it to go right now, and it's gone. And allow it, small things, to just I'm feeling lighter, and I'm moving my back, and I'm just feeling a little lighter. I'm letting go of anything in my neck. No matter how heavy it is, just a little bit, I'm lighter. And that's all letting go is about. It's about closing our eyes and just whatever is coming up, and I'm just going to let it go. You know, this word observing makes us feel a little difficult, that we have to do something. How do we let it go? And I'm maybe going to show you a last bit of how this affects our daily life, and to really come to the conclusion of this session of sacred connections. And what do we mean by sacred connections? And I actually would love for you guys to read it, but maybe I can go because of time. I can maybe share first, and you can just have a look. So here's a situation. Okay, let's say, for example, we have parked our car, and just as we are leaving this car, um, it the car parked in front of us backs up into our car with a thud. Sorry, I don't know what happened. Just 1 minute. Sorry. Sorry, I feel like my screen hung. Our bumper and the front of the fender are dented. Here's what different levels of consciousness might sound like. So we imagine, right? We're in a car and we've just hit someone and something has happened. Here's how shame would respond. How embarrassing. I'm such a lousy driver. I can't even park a car. I will never amount to anything. Here's how guilt would respond. I had it coming. How stupid I am. I should have done a better job of parking. Apathy. What's the use? Things like this always happen to me. I probably won't collect on the insurance anyway. There's no use talking to the guy. He'll just sue me. Life stinks. Grief. Now the car is ruined. It will never be same again. Life is grim. I'll probably lose a bundle on this one. Fear. This guy is probably furious. I'm afraid he'll hit me. I'm afraid to talk back to him. He'll probably sue me. I'll never get the car fixed right. Yada, yada, yada. Desire. I can make a bundle on this one. I think I will hold my neck and fake this whiplash. My brother-in-law is a lawyer. Will sue the pants of this idiot and we'll get the highest settlement. Anger. The damned idiot. I'll teach this guy a lesson. He deserves a good punch in the nose. I'll sue his pants and make him suffer. My blood is boiling. I could kill him. Pride. Look where you're going, oh fool. Oh God, this world is full of such bumbling idiots. How dare he damage my new car? Who the hell does he think he is? Look at his car, it's so bad. Mine's awesome types, Courage. Oh well, we've both got insurance. I'll take down the data and I'll handle it. Okay, I can handle it, but we will get settled. Neutrality. These things happen in life. You can't drive 20,000 miles a year without an occasional fender bender. So can you see it so far that how we've moved from some emotion of guilt and shame, where this person is like, I'm such a bad driver, going through all this shame, and now he's come to this space of neutrality. And now we'll go to the positive ones, okay? And watch what happens. How can I help the guy calm down? He doesn't need to feel upset about it. We'll just share the necessary insurance information. That's willingness. Acceptance. It could have been worse, but at least nobody is hurt. It's only money anyway. I suppose the guy's upset. Thank God I'm not running this universe. It's such a difficult task to handle everything. Reason. Let's be practical here. I'd like to take care of it as quickly as possible so that I can get on with my day's activities. What's the most efficient way to resolve this problem? And now we go to love. I hope the guy isn't upset. I'll calm him down, and he goes up to the driver, puts a hand on his hand, saying, relax, it's all okay. We've both got insurance. It was a minor dent. We'll get it fixed. There's nothing to be upset about. Don't worry, brother. And then what? Peace. This is peace. Well, isn't that fortuitous? I was going to have the rattle in the bumper fixed anyway, and the fender's already a little bent. Now I get it fixed anyway. Hey, aren't you George's brother-in-law? You're the guy I wanted to see. Let's do some great business, by the way. hey, da, 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 I think we can do something. This is coincidence, you know. And so we saw what happened, right? So we saw this is actually possible, where actually we can respond from any space. It just matters where we were. We say it's a mood, right? And that's how impactful spirituality and direct spirituality is in our life. How in every moment can we just let go? And maybe if we can have this map of consciousness and ask ourselves, where is this coming from? You know, because we often get caught in justifying that this is happening to me and this is just a car accident. But I'm thinking of my father's death, you know, my daughter's life, my career, and all these big things, you know. And we're all very sure of where we are sometimes, you know, like, no, this is because of that, or this is. But if we were to really breathe it in and saying, I am attracting where my consciousness is at. If I'm going to come at anger, I'm going to receive that. If I'm going to come at with love, I'm going to receive a little bit more of it. And how to do it is very simple. Like, we just sit, close our eyes, and slowly allow us to rise up and to just sit through the negative ones. Not anger is just going to be like a dragon or a demon or like a lot of energy just moving around. It's going to move around in your body and leave. You know, grief is going to be, it's coming up and the water is coming out through tears. It's going to leave. You know, and so I invite you to maybe connect with ourselves deeply, and I'll just come to a conclusion that connect with others in a very sacred manner, connect to others from a space of love. And there were actually a lot of movement and touch based activities that I work with. um, and yeah, so in a sacred connection session, we couldn't do much of this, and also the video was not on, but we meditate, we let go, and we look into each other's eyes. We look into each other's eyes for maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and just observe what's happening. And we allow the feelings to come up, and we also share very vulnerable things with each other, because the eye gazing opens up different modalities. And I also host anger release sessions where you just sit with the anger that you have, you express it, and you just let it out of the body. You know, we're so afraid of anger, you know, and we're so afraid of so many of these emotions, that for us to realize that until energetically in our body we don't let the emotions out, it's always going to come back in some thoughts. That 1,000 thoughts can come from one feeling, you know. And I know all of you, I'm sure all of us know a lot of knowledge, but it's eventually how much we're able to practice it and respond from a space of love, acceptance, and joy, and not guilt and fear and shame and anger. So yeah, this is also one of the first online sessions I've had. I don't usually have online sessions, but I hope it wasn't a waste of your time. I hope you got something from it that's practical, and I'd invite you to more in-person sessions. All my sessions are for free, because I truly believe that this just God wants this to happen, and it'll happen. So yeah, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much, Yogesh. It was really a joy listening to you. I mean, we can say for sure that we can say surely that you might have a young body, but you have a wise soul behind that. And I think maybe if you look at the chat box, you'll see that there have been some nice comments. Mr. Janaki Ram has mentioned that these are good practices and the program is nice. Well, I would somebody else like to also say something about what they got from the program today? Anybody else? Well, yeah, Kashmir, were you going to say something? Okay, great, fine. I could understand by your body language what you're saying. You're on mute, actually. So, well, from my side, I can say that I never really looked at these emotions being graded in this particular manner. Of course, I mean, the general trend of what you said, from despair and humiliation all the way up till beyond love, of course, I mean, I think self-realization is a bit too high for most of us. But even if you look at peace, I never saw peace as something that's higher than joy. But it was really very interesting and eye-opening, and I think it made me a better person. It expanded me, what you said. So definitely, I mean, I'm inspired by the way you have been you had your moments of realization, self-realization, and I pray that we all have our moments too. It's very inspiring. And your presentation was very clear, and it was actually very simple. I think the biggest takeaway for me was to come back into the present moment and to observe, and more importantly, to connect with the others around me in a sacred manner. In fact, I'd love to. I'm sure people here would love to speak with you sometime. So if you could share your, you can type in your mobile number. Letting Go by David Hawkins. Okay.
I think I've just put on the book as well, and would love to read the book. Whichever emotion you're stuck in, the book will. There's a whole chapter on it, right? And how to just deal when what you're feeling angry or fearful. So please read the book as well. I'll happy to share the PDF, and this is my number. You can also take it from Swati.
Great.
Yeah, do come for any in-person sessions. A lot of energy work can happen, just by being in presence of similar like-minded folks.
Certainly. And would anyone have any questions that they might want to ask Yogesh at this point?
No, I just want to say thank you very much. It was very interesting, very different, very interesting, and made us aware of the different levels. Thank you.
I have a question for Yogesh. You said that, you put out, whenever you feel like some negative emotion, you just keep your hands before you and keep, your fingers moving like this. Is it? Just feel the fear or feel the anger or whatever, and it will go on its own.
Yeah, so this is just we live in a world where you have to do things instantly. So this is the most very instant way of doing it, and you'll feel letting go. But mainly, if you closed eye would be better, because visually we are so open to everything. But if closed eye meditation is difficult for you, you can also use this technique, open eye. But if you close your eyes, just allow the denser stuff to come up. It's just when the denser stuff comes up, you think that you're going to do something horrible, or something horrible is going to happen. You think that if you feel angry now, you're going to do something, or it's going to consume you, so just allow it to come up and let it do. Just observe it like it was someone else's body. I know that sounds like a little difficult sometimes, but just observe it as someone else's body, and there's a drama happening, and this drama will keep happening. And the more you observe it, the emotion will just move out of your body.
So basically, you should just feel the emotion and be observant of it.
Yeah. In very simple words. But yeah. As you practice it, yes.
I have a question. My name is Arun Kulkarni.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to know what is the fundamental source of these emotions. How does these emotions got into us, and how it becomes a memory?
I think that's a very profound question. Yeah. You were saying, Kashmira?
No, sorry, I didn't realize my mic was on.
Okay. So it's a very profound question. I think there are multiple answers to this and multiple ways of thinking about it. But essentially, the best way I would like to put it is, think of it as like a container, or like a holder or a retainer of something. I personally believe that these energies were all a part of light, one big, and something happened and these energies have been split. And now what I'm experiencing is winning through my ancestral lineage, and ancestors have passed on to me since a long time. And yeah, there are many shades of these emotions, and there are many ways they get stored in different parts of the body. But one thing that for me is clear is the pathway out is as simple as that. The pathway out is not repression or suppression or expression. It's just to let go. But yeah, happy to hear what you also think about it, Arun, because I think it's a very open-ended philosophical debate almost.
Okay, and one more thing is these emotions are attached to the body, or will these emotions come along with soul also?
I think both. Personally, I think your body holds certain emotions, and whatever your idea of a soul is, I think, based on that. I think there are different imprints that are present. Yes.
How is it? Okay. Because I don't want to make it as an academic, approach to the seeking. I want to make it more experiential. Because this may be different for you, or this may be different for me, but what we are going to achieve is the same. Okay, so that's why I wanted to ask these questions, like how you perceive this, rather than making it more academic. So thanks for that.
I basically I don't even think it matters, honestly. I feel like it doesn't matter if you figure out the why of how we're here and how it works. I think just the pure intention and letting go. How do I move towards love, and how do I move away from fear? Whatever method works. And I think, I would personally step away from more knowledge and intellectual based methods after knowing that reading, I don't think it's for me personally.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, one last question, if nobody else has a question. My question is, what is it that what turned this spiritual seeker switch on for you?
One, it just happened, to be very honest. Like, it just happened. I don't know how it happened. Slowly, I was just drawn towards meditation. I think that's about it. And I think, honestly, I think at one point I was trying to understand the question, who am I? I think it's just that I don't know how that came about to be very naturally. But what has really brought it out forth is I don't believe we are separate. That's the main thing. I think we're truly connected, and it's actually a story in our head. I truly believe that we can truly return to a space where there's more joy and peace. Like I mentioned, people think that peace is a very low energy state. They think that, oh, we have to mellow down. But what's waiting at the end of meditation is this ecstasy and bliss of being one. And just like I mentioned, having experienced it for a few seconds, and now and then connecting with people and dissolving our sense of self and really experiencing Advaita. And again, right, like how much ever if I read about Advaita or non-dualism or Kashmir Shaivism or Vivekananda or any of the authors, like, you have to experience Advaita at some point. Can we experience it in this life? Through divinity. And I think that experience has led me on. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Yogesh, for sharing all this. So if anybody else has any other questions, they can.
Yeah, so sorry again, this is Arun Kulkarni. I want to share. Even, sir, I have experienced out of the body experience in Ladakh only. So we have some similarity. That I wanted to share. That's it. It happened to attend one 7-day session there. So I have experienced out of the body experience there. I was watching myself from outside. I don't know, like it was very unique and something special experience which happened in Ladakh. So I don't know what is there in those mountains where even a blade of grass cannot grow, and it elevates spiritually so high.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much for sharing. And I've dropped my number. Would love to stay in touch with you. Yes.
I am surprised when I read your workshop, you don't charge any fees. What made you decide like that?
Any spiritual thing, I think for me, has to be free. I'm very clear and radical about it. I don't agree with anyone who charges spiritually. I know they say that it's practical and it's real life, but it's energy work, and it's the highest respect and honor, and it needs to be done for the cause of humanity only. And I'm open for better ways. For example, for us to create a world where it's subsidized by the government, create a world where there's more philanthropic funding that's sponsoring foundations that are sponsoring meditative activities, and sometimes I feel like if the energy is real, somehow we'll keep going, that the universe will bring the right energy to the right people. But in today's world, the most poorest people require the most spirituality. the ones who are stuck in grief, the ones who are stuck in the lower levels are the ones, and sometimes often they also don't have money, and often it becomes therefore only for the rich people. And so, yeah, I'm really passionate about, I believe that, yeah, blessings are more important, and I can feel that that I don't want this to be a transactional exchange also. That maybe if you received something from this session, for example, you don't have to give it back to me now here in terms of money, because we live in this transactional idea of life that we're so afraid to take also without giving. But what if you can receive something now and pay this to someone else somehow, not through money? Maybe you feel happy, just go hug a person. Maybe surprise someone else, and they can do it for someone else. And so removing money from economy opens up this world of beautiful surprises where someone's just going to keep passing on gifts. But that's cut now, because what we've done is we'll do loops. So I'll do something for you, you do something for me, boom, tapa, 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 and that has removed community out of the process. That's not how our ancestors and our great grandfathers used to live. They should live in a village full of kind people because everyone did everything for each other, and there's something precious in that process. When money is given, we end that exchange then and there. So I hope that was not a complicated answer, but yeah.
No,
And
it was
to
a
add
very
on to
good
this,
answer.
yes, sir. To add on to
It
this,
was a
he
very good
recently
answer. Do you
conducted
do
a
anything else?
program.
Sorry, Janki, so I couldn't hear you. Can you repeat
No.
that?
Do you do anything else other than this work? Or?
No, this is what I do full time.
Oh, very nice answer. I liked it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, even I think Vipassana is free of cost, no, sir?
It
For
is.
10
It
days, I
is.
have done it 2 times.
It is.
So they also offer it free of the cost to the world.
Yes.
Beautiful process they have. Yeah.
Yes.
Swati, you were saying something?
Yes, sir. To add on to it, Yogesh Sureshji recently conducted a workshop, a session in our school. He didn't even charge 1 single rupee from the participants. And that was a unique thing which I could observe. And I immediately approached him for the satsang. And that his intention behind this removing economy out of spirituality was amazing.
Thank you, Swati, for sharing that. That's wonderful. It's in fact, we'd love to have a session with you, at the school, a workshop with you, Yogeshi, because whatever you've spoken of right now, it indicates, the kind of realm that we all aim for, kind of maybe a heavenly planet kind of environment where the consciousness of the collective is raised vastly. And I have read about such thoughts earlier as well, in various alternative thinking modalities. But if there are no more questions, and I can see that you've kind of opened up a lot of sharing over here. People have come forward very willingly to share because of the space that you've created. Thank you. Thank you for creating that space for us and making us better people, actually, for having attended the satsang today. Like I said, we'd love to have a workshop with you at the School of Ancient Wisdom. And thank you so much for coming here and making us better people.
No, thank you so much. I think you honor me, and I think, please don't call me G, or it makes me feel, no, it's honestly just happening. And I think that's what I want. I'd love for everyone to take away that, allow things to happen and it'll happen, and and I think the people are ready. I know we're already over time, but just to mention a couple of minutes to show the reality of this concept, I started something called the gift box, where we took a caravan. We went across Bangalore asking people to give things away for free. Whatever you don't use, just give it away, and you can pick anything for free. So, and you don't have to give to take. You can just come to the space and take. And people were surprised. So we went to Indranagar, Kormangla, Jayanagar, JP Nagar, around town, and we exchanged more than 1,500 items with around 300 people. And spread so much joy. Where so I think just this idea of giving and receiving, I think, can really open up spaces, and I think people are really ready for that world. They're ready. Thank you for School of Ancient Wisdom. I was telling it to everyone there. I was telling to Prajeen, I was telling to Swati, and I think it's a beautiful space. I've lived 27 years in Bangalore. and I can safely say it's the consciousness of School of Ancient Wisdom is really, the foundation of it is really pure. And whatever little I heard about Matisse as well, and her ideas really resonated. When someone told me that she didn't want one of her photos to be put up and she wanted to be anonymous, I really resonated with that. The intention behind it. And I'm only gonna bring more people to School of Ancient Wisdom. I think more people need to hear about this space, stay in the space, observe it, and I'd love to bring a community. We are around 200 people in Bangalore, a wellness community. I think slowly I'll bring a few of them for a few retreats, and yeah, would love to host. I was telling Saju, would love to host an international retreat. We usually gather. There are 86 people from 20 different countries, and I'd love to bring them. The next one's supposed to be in India, and I was thinking it can be at School of Ancient Wisdom during October. Would love to bring people to the space, and thank you for how you've made the space, all of you. Thank you for having me.
Well, we can't thank you enough ourselves. And why I called you G it was not just you, it was out of gratitude and respect for what you have done today and what you're doing also. So I think on that grateful note, and I'm definitely going to get in touch with you because whatever you've spoken, I think has a lot of potential, and heart-based businesses are really coming in big time. Dharma is spreading. We will have challenges and tests in the world at the moment for the next few years, but after that, at least my gut feeling says there's a bright new future for the entirety of humanity. So on that note of gratitude, let us all sit straight with our back, neck, and head aligned. Please remember your loved ones and those in your community who might need these prayers. You can even think of whatever kind of healing that they might require, whether it is your body, mind, or spirit. Also, let us send out these prayers to all those around the world who are troubled, who are needy in this time of challenges and growth. May everyone everywhere be happy and equipoised and be guided by the higher wisdom. Please join your hands. Take a nice deep breath. And let go. Let us settle ourselves within to that point of silence. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. Thank you all for being here. Thank you once again, Yogesh. It's been wonderful. And if Swati has any announcement to make for next week? Or
No, sir, as of now.
okay. In which case, I would request that we make our satsang stronger by inviting our friends and all those around us in our communities. It'll be lovely to make this a stronger space. And as Yogesh was just mentioning right now, the School of Ancient Wisdom is a wonderful space, a space for transformation. And that is what we all come back to for every Thursday here. So see you again next Thursday. God bless.